Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How are you, my dear students? I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that everything is okay. Today we are going to start in Unit 2, Lesson 2. I hope that you're ready for the class today with your pen, with your notebook, with everything which can help you take notes. Today we have grammar. Our grammar is divided into two parts. As you see, we have the first part talks about the difference between must and should. Uh, when do we use must and when do we use should? The second part talks about adverbs or adverbs of manner. Now, look here, please. Okay, we are going to see how to use, okay, must and should. Look, we use must or mustn't to talk about rules or laws, right? To talk about rules, laws. We use should or shouldn't to give advice to somebody, okay? When there is must, it means that there is a law and there is a punishment actually if you don't follow the rules, right? There is usually punishment, you're going to pay a fine or something negative is going to happen. We use should just to give advice. If the listener takes your advice, follow your advice, actually, it's up to him. If he didn't, you're not going to punish him. Let's see the two examples here. We have rules here. You must stop at the traffic light. If you don't stop at the traffic light, you are going to pay a fine. You might have, an accident and you might lose your life. You must not park on the sidewalk. It's a place where people walk, right? So these are rules actually. But when I give you an advice, it means that it's my opinion. This is an advice for you. If you follow this advice, it's okay. If you don't, it's up to you actually. You should go, I'm giving you here an advice. You should go to the doctor because you look sick, right? I see that your face is sick and tired today. So my advice for you is you should go to the doctor. This is not a rule actually. This is an advice. You shouldn't drink cold water because you have a cold. So this is an advice, that it's my opinion. If you follow it, it's okay. If you don't, it's up to you. But the rules, there is usually, as I told you, it's punishment if you don't follow the rules. Okay, okay. So you have to be careful that after must, after should, we use the base form of the verb. We don't say going, for example, or stopping. The verb should be verb one. you know that's the same thing in negative. Now we have another grammar today. Our grammar, which is the second part, is about adverbs. We use adverbs in order to describe how something is done. We describe the action. you know he drove slowly. I'm actually describing his drive. I'm not describing the person, I'm describing the action. He drove slowly. He plays nicely. I always cross the street carefully. You know, I'm describing the action. I'm not describing myself. I'm talking about how something is done. And as you see, most of the adverbs actually end with ly. Slow, which is an adjective, changes to an adverb by adding the ly, slowly. Careful ends with l, so we add another ly, so it becomes carefully. Careful becomes carefully. Now, these are adjectives. See how do we change the adjectives into adverbs. Slow, we add ly, slowly. Quick, quickly. Nice, nicely. Careful, we add ly, carefully. So as you see, there is another l, so it will be double ly. Beautiful, beautifully, as you see, the same thing. But there are, actually three adverbs that we don't, actually two adjectives that we don't change, which is fast and hard, but good changes completely. Fast is fast, the same. Fast is an adjective and adverb at the same time. We don't change it. We don't say fastly. I drive. No, it's wrong. I drive fast. I am fast when you describe yourself, and when you describe the action, I drive fast. Hard and hard, it's the same. Good changes completely, uh, and it becomes well. You know, I hope that you should know them very well. Now let's do some exercises in the book, page 14. Okay, let's see the book, page 14 now. Exercise A. Now look at the example. Rewrite the sentences. Use adverbs of manner. Adil is a careful driver. Adil drives carefully. Now, Badr is an aggressive driver. You know, aggressive is an adjective. We want to change it to an adverb. So, Badr, yes, Badr drives aggressively. Thank you. The same thing, you know, stunt pilots fly in a dangerous way. So, yes, mhm. Stunt pilots, yes, fly dangerously. Thank you. Stunt pilots fly dangerously. The same thing. Fadwa and Amal are slow readers. We can say Fadwa and Amal read slowly. Thank you. You know, the same thing. Saeed is a really good player. You know, do you remember good? We changed it to well. Thank you. Saeed is a really good player. So Saeed plays well. You know, okay. Sabah is a quiet talker, so she talks quietly. Sabah talks quietly. Khalid is a hard worker. Do you remember hard? We don't change hard. It becomes the same. So Khalid works hard. Exactly. Majid and Ali are fast runners. So the same thing, fast and hard are the same. We don't change them by adding ly. No. Majid and Ali, yes, run fast. Thank you. Now let's move to the next exercise. We want to do the same thing. Complete the conversation. Use adverb forms of the adjectives in parentheses. Then practice the conversation with the partner. Well, my son Brian drives, you know, reckless. Like, you know, when I say reckless, like not careful, careless actually. So we want to change it to an adverb. So, well, my son Brian drives recklessly. Thank you. He doesn't, as you see, we add ly. He doesn't stop at stop signs. You know the stop signs? He doesn't stop at the stop signs. And he's usually over the speed limit. The speed limit is 80, but he drives 100 or 120 kilometers per hour. He's always in a hurry. My son Alexander drives well, of course, as we told you, drives well, but he sometimes drives too fast. We don't change fast. I'm afraid he's going to have an accident one of these days. I'm sorry. He's going to have an accident. Yeah, one of these days. Now let's move to the next exercise, to the next blank. I mean, well, Brian got a ticket, you know, a fine because he was driving too fast. Yes, he had to go to a special class for people who drive dangerously, but he still doesn't drive carefully. Next time, he is going to lose his license. Thank you. Let's move to, as you see, most of the adverbs end with ly, but be careful of hard, fast, and good. Good becomes well, fast is the same, and hard is the same. Okay, now complete the conversations using your own words. You know, I'm afraid I'm running out of gas. You know, the gas is going to finish. So, you know, what advice do you give to this speaker? What do you tell him? You should stop at the gas station, right? To fill up the car. The sign says 80 kilometers per hour, and I'm doing 90. So then you must what? You must slow down, right? Okay, I'm lost. You know, I don't know which way to go. I think we should, you know, ask somebody. We should stop the car and ask people. You know, we should stop and ask someone for directions. Thank you. I need to make a phone call. Can you please hold the steering wheel? Okay, you must not make a call when you're driving because it's dangerous, right? Yeah, the car won't start. It's not working. There is plenty of gas. There, you know, there is a lot of gas actually. I wonder what the problem is. You should, yeah, you should check it. For example, you should, you should call a mechanic. You one more answer is possible. More. I'm sorry, more than one answer is possible. You can write, a rule or an advice. Okay, now let's work together and discuss what you shouldn't or mustn't do in the situations shown by these signs. Actually, we can talk about the rule and we can give an advice. So here it means what? You mustn't ride your bike in this area, right? We can give an advice. You shouldn't ride your bike in this area. So it depends on the speaker. If he's talking about the rule or the law, he should use must. If you give an advice, you should use should. You shouldn't ride your bike here. This speaker is giving an advice. Number two, okay, you mustn't litter. Litter is to throw garbage. You mustn't litter. It's just, yeah. And if you give an advice, you should use should, of course. It should be negative. You shouldn't litter. You shouldn't swim here, or you mustn't swim here in this area. Okay, here you mustn't use your cell phone while driving, or you shouldn't use your cell phone here. So as you see, if you give an advice, should, if you talk about the rule, must, hear the same thing. you know okay, here is not to feed specific kind of animals. Look here, you mustn't feed the squirrels and pigeons, right? You mustn't feed them, give them food. Okay, because it's a rule. To give advice, we can use shouldn't. Okay, this is five. Number six here, you mustn't camp, right? You shouldn't camp. This is an advice. And if you talk about the rule, we use mustn't. You should not camp or have a campfire here. Here, as you see, you must not park here because this place is not specified, or parking is not allowed in this area. Thank you, my dear friend, my dear students. You are actually my friends also for seeing this class. Thank you for your time. Hope you the best. And this is the end of lesson two.